Hey, your audio's live now.
What's that?
Your audio's live now.
Audio's loud now?
Live! You're on the stream, hello.
Oh, I thought you said my audio was loud now.
No, don't worry, you're good. Your audio's good. Let's just get running.
Sounds good. Hello, everybody. I am SDiezal. We are about to do some Mega Man 3 80%. I will go ahead and count you down. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Alright. The route that I'm going to be using is the magnet first route. There are two other routes you do, either Gemini or top first. Mega Man 3 is the first NES Mega Man to introduce the slide. So you're definitely going to be seeing that a lot. And our first proto fight. First of a few proto fights we'll be doing. Pretty standard. Just get behind him and jump with him and attack. These guys have about 3 HP each. Ooh, the lag. I might grab this health here, actually. Yeah. And block section coming up here. And the other routes that you do in Mega Man 3, you can actually have at least the rush jet to skip this section. In magnet first, we do have to do it though. It's a little slow, but not too bad. You skip that last block there. Deboost this guy, and we're on our way to magnet. And we're gonna deboost this guy. I want to deboost the missile and not little springy there guy. He does a lot more damage than the small missile. Alright, so with magnet, he has two different types of attacks he'll do with you. He'll fly to the sky like this and shoot some magnets. They do kind of home in on you, but you can kind of position yourself behind him when he goes to fall down here. And then he'll do this other little shield attack here. And there we go. Can't attack him when he does the shield. You can either deboost him, or you can kind of like jump a little bit above him and he'll cancel the shield. It's a little risky, but it's also just more faster and consistent to deboost him and go on. But you alternate between those two cycles there. So it's not bad RNG at all. And the next fight, next stage is Hardman. After Magnet. I'm going to switch to Magnet right at the start here. Almost a disaster. That one was. Alright, so we're going to despawn these bees. So to mess up the little magnets there. That's alright. We need enough magnet for Hardman, so we don't want to burn it too much. So usually if I mess up the bees there, I'll just conserve it and switch to jet or coil. Continue on. But the bees take 3 magnets each, and if you time it correctly, you can get them all within succession. These guys, we're just gonna bait them, jump, go, and slide. Mega Man memes. We're gonna be using coil through a lot of this ladder sections to save some time. Couldn't slide under there. If I'd got that buster shot, it would have hit the dozer as I slid under the ledge there. And it would have been a little bit faster there. It's okay. Dozer hitboxes in this game are atrocious. Section, just slide and go. If you get stuck there for a period there, it can get bad because the bees will drop. So like really the strat for that room is just to go fast. Here's our second proto fight. The terrain is a little bit different there. It's not a flat ground, so you have to do a couple jumps to keep with them. But it's not too bad. Oh, that was not good either. I gotta be a little careful here. Should be okay. Hardman, his weakness is magnet. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I was afraid of that. That's pretty bad. So we took contact damage, which does a ton of damage, and now I have little to no magnet, so this is gonna be a little rough. So if you run out of magnet, you pretty much have to go into a mash fest with Hardman. It really, if you die to hard, I mean, it's pretty much you're gonna not have enough magnet for the refight. So that was pretty bad. The worst thing I did was take contact damage. If you just take damage from his little missiles he shoots at you, it's not so bad. But running into hard is like the worst thing you can do. After a hard man, we are going to top. Now, normally in the other route, you can do top first or Gemini. We're going to have the benefit of having magnet in top, which does save a little bit of time on the tiger fights. Or the kitty cats, whatever you want to call them. It's less mashing too. Doing top first does require a lot of mashing. Oh, those dozer hitboxes are just so bad. You have to hit the very top. If you're anywhere near the lower portion, it will not do damage. Alright, so that's a weird thing that the magnets can do, is if you shoot them in a really weird spot, they'll go in the opposite direction you want them to go in. That first one did exactly that. I might be a magnet short here. Yeah, I think so. And we're good there, okay. Classic top slide section, and taking it careful. That's good. So switching to Hardman here, his weakness is top. Or top man is hard knuckle there. Oh, I missed him there. So use hard on top, and you can get the first shot in without having to slide. But he takes a couple, like 4 shots. You just want to close the gap between yourself and top man. And it makes that fight super fast. Alright, next Shadow. Shadow has some interesting sections. Has a couple dark rooms. But right at the start here, we're going to go left. And then we're going to make a small hop up this ledge. Alright. And then we have another proto fight. This one is pretty much like the first one in Magnet. Almost very identical. So here's the first dark room. Do have to do a few platforming sections in the dark, but with some muscle memory, they're not too bad. You just have to look out for these missile guys for the most part. Give yourself a little bit of space so you don't get caught in the explosion damage. And we're going to get ready for the parachuters with the magnet first route. We're going to use magnet to take these guys out. Oh! That is always an issue, something that can happen there. So I grabbed the pickup mid-jump, and that can mess up your movement a little bit. Let's see if I can save it here. Actually gonna have to switch to Buster here. Yeah. Yeah, grabbing a pickup mid-jump is almost a death sentence. And that's like one of the worst sections in the game to grab a pickup when you really don't want to. Wow. No such luck in this run. But that was my own fault there. So I did a really bad thing with Shadow, is if his weakness is top, and if you use top within the iframes of Shadow's hitbox, it'll actually drain your top energy almost instantaneously, as you saw there. If I'd have just timed it a little bit, spaced it out a little bit better, it would have been okay. But had to finish him off with Buster. All the bad luck at the start, we're getting it just out of the way, so we can do Gemini clean. Everybody's favorite stage is Gemini, for multiple reasons. So these guys do have a set pattern. We're going to switch to Magnet here. Yeah, the game is making up for all my deaths with all the extra lives. And we're going to do Proto Skip. Okay. So if you screen transition into that right there, you can actually skip the little cinematic with Proto Man. You want to slide into the transition and then jump right at the end, so you'll fall into the hole. If you jump a little bit too soon, you'll land on the ledge and it'll trigger the cutscene. And with that proto skip, it also glitches out the music as well. So we're not going to have any music until we hopefully get to Gemini. Penguin here is going to be a little glitched out. The glitching out the music actually does save a little bit of time. You'd be surprised how much the music does take up for lag, especially in this room here. One of the worst rooms in the game, easily though, is right here. Oof. Alright, we should be good. You can dodge those bugs, but it can save a few frames if you just get rid of them. It makes it a little bit less laggy as well. But yeah, for that room there is notoriously bad. So once you get Gemini down to the last little phase there, it's almost like a Proto Man fight, except for much more dangerous, and he can shoot lasers at you. The first part of that, they kind of do this little counterclockwise motion where they'll jump to the left and then cycle in that motion, and you pretty much have to just attack them as they go. But yeah, that fight's not too bad. It's more over the stage you have to worry about. So coming up next is Needle. Needle stage, we're going to use a lot of Jet. Or I'm sorry, not Jet, but Laser. Gemini Laser. I'm thinking of Snake coming up after Needle. For this section, I like to use Magnet. It takes these guys out in one shot. And you can kind of lead the shot into them because it kind of homes in on the enemies. gonna switch to laser here in just a second. Oh, I was late. You can usually get that laser right under the needle. And we're definitely good on Gemini laser energy for needle. Got an extra pickup that I did not intend to get, but that's okay. Usually have to worry about having enough energy for this fight, but it should be good. And not bad. The best situation you want with Needle is that he just does those small hops over you. The worst thing you can do is miss a Gemini laser shot. It will pretty much just bounce all over the walls and waste a lot of time. You can't cancel it out into a different weapon. You can't pause the menu or anything until the laser goes away off screen. And it does 3 bounces until it does that. So you definitely want to make sure you don't miss Needle. Otherwise you have to do a laser all over the place. So next up is Snake. And Snake we're going to be using a lot of Jet to skip a lot of sections. I got too close, it's okay. So these snakehead fights you can skip with Jet, just fly right on top of them. And coming up are the plunger enemies. Ooh, very lucky there. The key with the plunger guys is to slide the second their plungers hit the ground. It's a very small window and very easy to either slide too early or too late, and you'll just take really slow damage. Another snakehead, we're gonna fly right over. Ooh, okay. Leap of faith. Yeah, I was like way late on sliding under those guys. Another jet section here, and then we're gonna jet the next entire screen once we get to this platform. Right here. And up top we go to the top of the screen and jump. It reduces lag with the enemies on the screen, anything that shoots at you. And it also reduces the amount of energy that you use for jet whenever you're not standing on rush jet. So Snake's weakness is Needle. Kind of just want to lead him into these shots. I actually didn't mean to do that. I haven't been doing a good job of getting center of the stage. And in Mega Man 3, like a few other Mega Mans, you want to be dead center as possible, so it's less time for Mega Man to have to walk to do his fanfare. And ideally for that fight, you can kind of manipulate it to where you're in the middle and kill Snake at the same time. And last of the first 8 robos is Sparkman. Then we're going into the docked stages. This jump here, ugh, super tight. You gotta get that as soon as you jump off the ladder to get that jump. Switch the magnet there, takes that guy out in 2 shots. Get it right from the ladder. That's an annoyance of Dozer right there. He can be super annoying. Those hitboxes can just be very misleading. You can either conserve your magnet and actually take out these blocks instead of having to slide on top of them. You have to be very conservative with your magnet, though. This section has taken many of my lives. There we go. That can be a very rough section to get through. But we got it okay. Can you use Shadow for Spark? Oh. Mostly because we can do this right through the wall. If he does spawn on the right side. And if he does get on the left, you can still mash pretty fast. And usually a non-trivial fight. So with the 8 Robo stages done, we head into the, not the Wily stages yet, but they're more the Doc stages. We're going to get to before Wily. We're going to see some old foes, some Mega Man 2 revisit fights, but in a different way. Doesn't matter in what order you do these, it's really just whatever your preference. So I start with Gemini, go up to Spark, and then Shadow and Needle. Doc Gemini is just as bad as regular Gemini, but you can make the best of it. Switch to Magnet here. Oh, that was too early. I burned too many magnets, but it's okay. Don't have to do a Proto Man skip here, so we're good. And on our way down, we'll switch to Needle. This part, you really want to just shoot a couple needles on your way over. Here we want to hit 3. 1, 2, 3, and that'll work. We got 2. You can only have 3 of these little swimmers on the screen at the same time. Nice jump there. So if you have 3 that are flying out of your way, you can just hit each of those bubbles with 1 shot and then proceed. You don't have to hit them and then kill the fish at the same time. So Flashman returns. His weakness is going to be Needle. Just want to keep him on the left here at the start, and then make our way back over here to the right. Through this section, I do Rush Marine. There's a strat where you can use Shadow Blade to take out the propeller guys up top. You're going to deboost those, and then, or actually you deboost the fish, and you take out that propeller guy with Shadow. It's very risky, but you also much more consistent just to go Rush Marine there. And didn't get up there fast enough. Switch to Shadow here through this section. Get ready for these guys. Oh, that was close. Good. And we use Shadow for the return of Bubble Man. I'm gonna be just on the safe side. I think I would have survived that, but I did not want to die just in case. Well, right there I would have died, but that was unnecessary. I might have been okay and maybe not needed to E-Tank, but just wanted to make sure. So the bubble refight is very similar to the Mega Man 2 bubble fight. Underwater, really, really slow movement. And you can use the Shadow Blade to just like spam it on him as quickly as possible. Doc Spark at the start, we go to Jet, and then we're going to switch right back to Laser for this next screen. Whoa, that was close. It's going to be a little laggy, but we're okay. Two lasers each for them. coming up is Return of Metal Man, and we're gonna set up for Magnet here on this fight. This is a pretty easy fight as well. We're just gonna stay on the left-hand side until the last second. With Magnet, they go right towards him, even if he jumps, so makes this fight a lot easier. And right at the start, switch to Snake. Use Snake for the next fight, so we can set up for it now. This next screen, we're going to be doing a despawn strat right here. If you sit there and wait for the little laser wall to just like go away from the screen transition, it'll despawn when you advance. You can do it for the first two, but can't really do anything for the next two. This fight is always iffy, so hopefully it goes okay. Does a ton of damage if you run into him. Okay, I maintain to get hit by Quickman's boomerang, so that's good. That fight can be super, super scary. Alright, so Doc Shadow. We're gonna do another music glitch strat here. If I can get it right. There we go. So there's a pretty consistent way to set that up. Right at the start of the stage, you take a couple... Ooh, that was close. Required steps, and then if you slide off that platform and hold left into the spikes, you'll get it every time. But what happens is you're screen transitioning and hitting the spikes at the same time. So you're kind of tricking the game into thinking you're dead. Oh, that was bad. So it kind of despawns the music the same way it does in the proto skip in Gemini. Another dark room, a little sketchy. Alright, we're good. Music will come back here in a second. So Woodman comes back. I'm going to use Needle for Woodman. Okay. Switch to Gemini Laser real quick for these guys. And then right to Magnet for some more parachutes. They're back. Oh, it was a iffy pickup. I don't know why. My last few runs, I've been getting really bad pickups in this screen, and it's always the parachutes. It's like the worst screen to get pickups, man. Alright, so Heatman makes his return, and we're going to use top for him. That was weird. Alright, he was doing some weird movement there, but it's okay. Alright, and the last of the Doc stages of the Mega Man 2 refight is Doc Needle. We'll switch right to Needle right at the start. Or, I'm sorry, Laser. Get Rush Jet ready here for the next screen. And we're gonna spawn Rush here, and then take this guy out. We spawned him in the wall, so he'll spawn right before him a little bit faster. And then we just use Rush's Buster to take out that guy. Grab that E-Tank just for safety reasons. Do the same here. Switch to Spark. Airman refight. Use Spark. What? I can't. You have to give me a minute, dude. Alright, so we're gonna go straight back to Jet. I'm a little bit low on health, but just have to be a little careful here. When we go into this section with the parachuters, we're gonna do the same thing we did in Snake. Head to the top and then jump. This will reduce the lag, and it will also reduce the amount of... Oh! It'll reduce the amount of jet energy that we use. And another section here. Yeah, just gotta be careful of my health here, but it should be okay. Start for these next screens, Snake. Pre-shoot 3 there, and oh, I was 1 short. It's okay. That's bad. I'm actually gonna, yeah, you take care. Took a little bit too much damage in the previous screen. Three again, right at the start. Snake travels right on the ground, so it makes it a lot easier to kind of kill those guys before you can get to them. And last but not least, Crash makes his revisit. We're going to use Hard Knuckle against this fight. This is also an iffy fight if you have low health, but we're good. There's a couple different ways you can do that fight. You can either guide the missiles into him and kill him that way. But every time that you jump, Crash jumps. So you have to make sure you time your Hard Knuckle very specifically to make sure it doesn't just whiff him. Ah, that was bad. I never like this proto fight. I don't practice it that much because it's mostly impractical, but that's always a really weird proto fight with the terrain that you have to work around. So now we're going into the Wily stages. Shoutouts to IBM. And for the most part, these sections are pretty easy to get through. We're just going to deboost these guys. Pretty straightforward, a Wily one. Gotta watch out for these penguins, though. These penguins can be a nuisance as well. Okay. I get hit by 1. That's actually good. So I'll take 1 hit. And magnet here. And jet at the end of those guys. We use jet in the next room as well. Pretty much designed. And the lovely turtle fight. There's a few different ways actually you can do this fight. You can use shadow or top. I like to use top for this fight. There's a way to kind of preemptively know when these turtles are coming out, but you just kind of make a little bit of a guess on it and then just be ready for them. They've actually come out fairly quickly. That was a very quick turtle fight. Wow, yeah, I see like almost 5 seconds. Those are really fast turtles. Wily 2. This contains the Yellow Devil refight from Mega Man 1. But the game does prep you pretty well. It gives you a lot of E-tanks prior to this fight, because it is pretty difficult. More bees. But we have Shadow. Oh! This time. I've done that 2 times today. I've gotten a pickup at that exact same jump, and it's caused me to do that. Those energy drops are the worst mid-jump sometimes. Except for when they help you, which is very rarely. And we're gonna jet through these, get these extra E-tanks. Because now I believe I cannot die or I'll game over. It won't be a huge deal, but I'd much rather not. So, Yellow Devil fight. The way this fight works is his hitbox is his eye. Similar to Mega Man 1. But we can get ready for the fight by kind of positioning yourself to take 2 quick deboosts right at the start. Here and here. Not bad. The window to hit his eye, obviously, is very, very small, as you saw there. You can get directly underneath his eye, though, and if you're a quick masher, you can get him in 1 cycle. It's very difficult to do, but if not, you can get him in... Oh, 2 cycles here. Not bad. It's the reskin, exactly. So Wily 3. Do a lot of rush coil. Oh, here. Contains the clones fight, which we'll see at the end. Hesitate a little bit there, and then jump. Same here. Get rush ready, and then go. Oh, I missed him! No! It's alright. These guys can be pretty bad, because you can't kill them up close. It just wastes so much time. For these guys, the second their eyes open, if you slide under them, you'll pass by them no problem. And then coming up, we're going to see a nifty trick with Rush Coil and then switching to top for this fight. Okay, so what I did for the clone fight here is when you use Rush Coil there and you're in the air, and you use 2 buster shots from Rush Coil and switch to top as those bullets are traveling to the clones. The bullets, when they make contact, will then do top damage instead of Rush Coil buster damage. And we're going to see that trick used again at the end of this game for the final fight. But coming up, we have the refights. First, we're going to do Snake. Let's get Needle ready. Ooh, I did want to wait a little bit there, as I wanted to get that power up. If I'm sitting on the teleporter, then I automatically exit, and I need that energy for at least this fight without wasting any tank. Ooh, that was close. Top next. We're gonna see a little weird glitch here. Oh no, we skipped it. Nice. I got lucky and took damage though. Usually you do a little freeze frame there after killing top, but we didn't get it because I took damage. Cards out. Switch to Needle next for Gemini. Instead of Shadows, it's faster. Yes. Gemini is weak to its own weapon. And it's actually its strongest weakness. Way more than Shadow. So we keep Gemini Laser for Needle here. Magnet weak to Shadow. He goes out pretty quickly with Shadow, and then Spark is our final. Alright, and not a bad refight at all. Not too bad. Yeah, that was actually a gold split for me, so yeah, that was definitely a good boss rush. Alright, first Gamma fight. So at the start here, we're gonna wait for this claw hand to go up, slide under, and get ready to spam Snake here. And then I'm gonna go ahead and do the rush jet method here. Gotta be a little careful. Not bad. There's another strat you can do with this fight that involves Snake, and using Snake to cause lag that will actually give you more time to hit Wily there. It's pretty tough though. Like that strat I used there is like as a kid, just get Jet and just like spam Buster right in his face. All right, final fight. Time coming up here at the end of this fight. Switch to Shadow at the start. And we're going to use that same Rush Coil top glitch we did on the clones for this fight. Oh, that's bad. No, not Snake. There we go. And time. Alright, not bad. At least we're under estimate. Couple silly deaths here and there, but not a bad run. So we used that same glitch that we used in Wily 3. Switch to Rush Coil, or go to Rush Coil, jump, shoot 2 shots with Coil, and then switch to top mid-jump, and it pretty much changes those 2 shots into top damage. And top does a lot of damage against the final Gamma fight. And that is Mega Man 3. Coming up next is Mega Man 03 to continue the Mega Man block. Should be a good run. But yeah, I am done. I am SDiezal. Thanks for watching. Thanks everybody at Speed Stuff for Charity. I'll be back tomorrow for my final run of Mighty Gunvolt around this time. Until then, have fun. I'll catch you guys then.